Hi, now that you have done the Nearpod lesson, let's look at our notes on page 73. A lot of this is going to come straight from the Nearpod. I just summarized it so you wouldn't have as much to write. So our goal is I can solve and graph inequalities. That's going to be our goal for the next 3 pages of notes. And let's look at the different inequality symbols. This is the is less than symbol. I always think this is horrible, but I always think about it pointing to the little guy and laughing. So the little guy is always on the side of the point. This is greater than, and then these with the line underneath it is less than or equal to, and this one is greater than or equal to. It's very important that you think about the word is, because if you look at a word problem, we've been talking about throughout the year that is means equals. So you'll need to be looking for the word is, less than or greater than, or less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. And that will tell you where to put the inequality symbol in the word problem. If you think like 7 less than 10 is what, that would be 10 minus 7 equals what, which would be 3. So you want to make sure you have the is less than and is greater than. So let's look at some examples here. If I have x is greater than or equal to 12, that means it can be any number bigger than 12, but also including 12, because it says greater than or equal to. So it could be 12, 13, 14, any of those. If I had x plus 3 is less than 9, I have to think about what could I put there to make this a true statement. And so you can solve it like an equation. So you could subtract 3 from both sides and you would be x is less than 6. So any number that you plugged in here that's less than 6 would make it a true statement, like 5.9999. If I put 5.9999 in there and I add 3, I would have 8.99999, which is less than 9. So any number less than 6, 4 would work. 4 plus 3 is 7. That's true that it's less than 9. Negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4, which is also less than 9. Looking at some different words that you could use for these symbols, the is greater than, you could also say it exceeds, it's above, or it's more than. Greater than or equal to, you could also say that it's at least, or that that's the minimum. Less than could be fewer than, or it could be below. So you could use those words for is less than. And for is less than or greater than, is less than or equal to, you could also use the words at most or maximum. When you graph inequalities, if you're going to use a greater than sign or a less than sign, then you're going to have an open circle because it doesn't include the point and the number line. If it does include, that'll have the or equals, and then that's when you circle it in. So, graphing some of these, long time ago, you would have been able to graph on a number line x equals 3. I am going to allow you to make a shortcut for your number lines. You only need to put 0 and the number that you're talking about. So number line, put a 0 and 3, and this is x is equal to 3. So you put a point at the 3, and there you go, you graphed it. If it's x is greater than 3, what you'll do, sorry, I scribbled out the 3. This is a scribble out, not a filled in circle. So if it's x is greater than 3, again, you draw your number line. You have a 0 and a 3. It does not include 3. It's everything above it. So you just circle the 3, don't shade it in, and then you'll move it this way, because 3 would not make this a true statement. 3 is not greater than 3, so you wouldn't want to color it in like you did on that one. So open circle, go to the right. If x is greater than or equal to 3, it does include 3, so you fill in the circle, and it would go to the right. Now, I do want to say with these that you'll notice that the variable is on the left. I always put the variable on the left for inequalities, because then you'll notice that this sign matches the tip of the arrow. Same way when you go down here to do less than, as long as the variable is on the left, x is less than 3, open circle, it doesn't include 3, and it's going to go to the left, and you'll see that the arrow sign looks just like that. X is less than or equal to 3. This time it does include 3, so you'll circle it in, and you'll go to the left. If you have something, and I'll write it up here, 3 is less than x, in order to put the X on the left, you're saying 3 is less than X. So you can't say X is less than 3. That wouldn't make sense. So you have to read it backwards. X is greater than 3. And so these two things would mean the same thing. So that's why I always put X on the left. Couple examples. Water turns to ice at 0 degrees Celsius. So if you look at here, hey, the number is 0, so you only have one number to plot. If it turns to ice at 0 degrees Celsius, you put shade in the circle, and everything to the left of that is going to make it ice. And then speed limit of 15 miles an hour. Contrary to popular opinion, that means you should not go faster than 15 miles an hour. So you can go 15, so you can shade it in because 15 works, and everything to the left. So again, these are your page 73 and probably also your 73B notes.